Hello friends and welcome back to Enterprise Architecture. Now behind me you might notice that we have some new friends. I installed the horses mod and now we have a bunch of horses roaming our property. So I'm going to see if I can't tame them before we get started on our day's adventures. So with no further ado, let's dive in. Okay, so we have both some carrots and some dry grass, which may or may not actually be enough for them. Let's see here. Oh, now I'm eating it. Looks like we started, but it's not letting me feed anymore. It might take multiple days, actually, of feeding to get there. Yeah, how about a different item? Can I give you a different item? Yeah, there you go. Oh, see, it's in their mouth now. That's why. Okay, so maybe I just need to give them time to chew before I start moving that along. How about you? Do you want some food? There you go. Yeah, some nice food for you. Okay, so we've got Jenny and Jack, and that's a bighorn ewe we don't need that. Okay, well we are gonna try and keep feeding these until they are tamed, and I'm hoping I can slowly guide them into this pen. I haven't made room for them in the barn yet, but they're gonna need some room. So maybe what I'll do is actually start fencing them in this way. And I will start putting food in this pen here that I've created. I've already got a trough down, and hopefully that will keep them coming back for more. No, it doesn't look like they want to take any more food. Can I put this into a trough? Yeah, I can. There we go. We have a lot of carrots right now, so I'm going to put this into this trough, and hopefully this will slowly lure them this way, into this fenced-in area. Okay, so our real mission today is going to be to set up our forge. Now, we have our little house over there, our big barn, which needs expansion apparently already. But over here, I think next to our pine tree growing area here, our little arboretum, is going to be our new forge. I think we're going to put it down right here. Now, I've been collecting up a whole bunch of birch here so that we can start making it out of birch. I think that's the thing I'm most plentiful aside from pine, so I think it'll be a good contrast to these other two buildings. Now, I'm only going to temporarily make this out of birch just because I think stone would be better to use, but until I'm really up and forging my metal picks and whatnot, all those tools that we can use for quarrying stone. Until we get to that point, it's going to be real hard to have enough stone to really do this. So for now, we're just going to make do with having it out of birch. Now, I've got all of our pieces that we assembled last episode, our water wheel, our pulverizer, all of this great stuff that we're going to need. And we're ready to basically start building. The only thing we need to do here is probably drop off some of our birch logs because we have too many. Now, I'm going to assemble these into birch planks. I think that's going to be the best thing to do. I think that's going to look the best, is to recombine these like so. There we go, into our birch planks. I think that's going to look pretty neat. I like the look of birch planks. It's going to be a lighter wood, and I think when I do a future version of this that's actually built out properly, I think I'm still going to do a lighter color stone. So I think this is what we're going to do for right now. And I think what we'll do is maybe raise it up a little bit off the ground. I think that'll look kind of nice here instead of just being flat. Now I want to put it relatively close to the mountain here because my idea is I'm going to terraform this a little bit so that it looks like there's a waterfall coming off the mountain, and then use that to power my water wheels. So I think, and we're actually going to have to redo those. I want to put that out. We don't have steel plates yet, and you need steel plates to make the sluice gate that opens and closes to provide water to the water wheel if you're doing a top, the one where the water goes over the top. I forget the name of it right now, but overshot maybe? Whatever it happens to be. So for that to work, we need steel, and we don't have steel yet. So we are instead going to do the one where the water comes in and goes underneath it. So we're just going to set that up real quick here with our planks on the ground. Maybe a little step up. Let's do it maybe 2 steps up so it gives it a little more grand appeal. So let's go ahead and lay down a plank there. We'll put a plank here. And we're just going to come over with this. We want a nice big area. All right, so this is starting to look good. That might be a big enough footprint for us. So I'm just going to keep building this out here until I have a nice, wide, flat area. Okay, and there is our base. That's looking pretty good. You know, I'm also thinking maybe we'll need more power than just what the water wheels will provide. So we could actually add windmills on top of this too if we wanted. So I think what we'll do is we'll have the water wheels back here on the back side coming down. And I think I might start with the first one kind of tucked away in here. That might be the way to do it. And of course we will need to set up all of our gears and everything. I'm just going to put in some temporary stairs here. Let's go ahead and cut more planks and see if we can remember the recipe for stairs. I think it's this or something. No, that's the other block game. Ah, it's just backwards. I guess they're just trying to be different here a little bit. And let's go ahead and make 3 stairs. Actually, we need 6, right? Because we made this too high. So let's do this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, great. And now, if we find the exact middle, I think I made this 13 wide. So 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, great. Just like that. You know, they say a lot of people think that 13 is an unlucky number, and I think 13 can be a very, very lucky number, especially when we're building out our forge. So this will work pretty good. Okay, so the next stage here is to start laying out our actual machinery and figure out how all these pieces are going to fit together. So I think the first water wheel is going to go over here, and we just have to make sure that we're laying out in the right direction. And then I think our power is going to come in through the back, like here maybe. So I did go ahead and install this mod for axles that can go through blocks. So I really think this is going to be helpful because we can have a sealed building this way. And I think that's very useful for us. Okay, so I think it goes birch plank and then axle and then fat with our chisel and our hammer. Where did our hammer go? Oh, it's in our hand already. There we go. Okay, axle and birch planks. That's exactly what we want. Ooh. Uh-oh. Looks like a storm is rolling in. That's not what we want at all. I'm trying to do construction here. Okay, so our brand new axle, I think we want it to go, we don't want it to be right here on the corner. We want a little bit of space to maneuver. So I think it goes here. And let's go ahead and take our water wheel gear and our water wheel base. Those are the main things that we're going to need here. And we're also going to need these angled gears so we can change the direction that it is moving. And our wooden axles here. Okay, let's do that. And, oh, you know what else we need? We need our bucket of water. So it is overshot and undershot and breast shot, which means you're coming in at the actual same level as the middle of the water wheel. So we can't do the overshot, so let's do breast shot. That's easy enough. And, the water must float on the same height level of the axle. Okay, so according to the mod author, it needs to be on the left side if the water is flowing under or doing a breast shot here. So that's what we are going to set up. So let's assume that the power is going to be coming in here on this block. And that means we do need to do one angled gear to turn it. So let's assume that the water wheel base is going to be right here. And again, all this is going to be refactored because we're going to have multiple water wheels in the future. And so if that's the case, we just need to dig this out a little bit to give us some room here. And I think we can put the water wheel base here. And then the water wheel can attach on the other side. Okay, that's backwards then. Let's try that again. So water wheel base here, and then the water wheel here. Yeah, that's the stuff that we want. Okay. And now that I'm doing my math here, you all see the problem. It's one block over. Let me change that. Okay, so water wheel goes there. Let's put an axle on it. And hopefully here we can put our gears. There we go. Oh, that's backwards. Let me try that again. We put it here and then here. No, that's also backwards. Maybe I have to put the axle first. Let's put the axle off here. There we go. Is that already... Oh, It looks like that already is hooked up. We don't need to add a second set of gears to it, right? Wonderful. Okay, so that's going to drive that. And then, in theory, all we need to do is put down a pool of water. Now, let's see here. I want my water to eventually come out there, but I want it to come from up here. So we might need some clever maneuvering here to get this to work exactly how we want it. But let's just start with a temporary setup here, right? Let's put our water here. And let's close this in. Let's see if this works. There we go. Water is turning, and I think that might be turning from one level too high, maybe even? For maximum power? Might need to go down a level. Oh, but I can't pick that back up, can I now? Okay, so let's just go down one here and see if this works. There we go. That seems to be turning at a pretty good speed. I can't tell if it's going faster or slower than it was. Okay, so our power is now coming into our building. Now the thing to do is start using it to actually power things. Now, I do not have this set up yet for the various mechanical, the big gears that I need here because I didn't make enough iron plates to make all of the big gears. So we're just going to start with setting it up for our helve hammer, and then we are going to come back and add the rest of our machines. Okay, so this means we also need to figure out how to set up a helve hammer. So I do think that we're probably going to need to come out from the wall by at least one, like so. Now this has an attachment point. And then I think our helve hammer we're going to put like adjacent to this. So let's see here. If I put my helve hammer base down, will that go here? And then the helve hammer will go, what, here? Yeah, that looks right. Now we just need to hook it up to something. So I think if we do the angled gears here and here. Okay, so I had to look this up. You need a wooden toggle actually to connect it. So we're going to grab this, we're going to take one axle and put it there. We need fat in the bottom. Our resin goes here, and then we need 4 logs each here and here. There we go. There's our wooden toggle. Okay, let's try that again. So now we just put our wooden toggle down here. Great, that did a thing. And maybe we can put our angled gears on that. And then in theory, we can just wire this up with our axles. Yeah, there we go. Look at it go. Okay, great. Now what we are actually missing here is going to be an anvil. So let's head back to the house real quick here and get an anvil going. I think for right now we don't have all the iron we need to start making up a better anvil. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a bronze anvil for now, and then we can always upgrade later. So let's see here. I'm going to make up a bunch of bronze and see y'all in a second. Okay, and we grab up our crucible. Let's go ahead and use the remaining heat to cook up some steaks here from our red meat, because who doesn't love coal-fired steaks? Yeah, sure. And then let's fill up our mold here. There's a lot of filling. There's a lot of bronze. There we go. Okay, so we still need to start putting the rest of these things together, and, you know, I'm mainly going to be using the helve hammer for now, but I just want to put these down so they're not just kind of in the way here. So let's go ahead and start putting together our pulverizer. Let's see, this goes here, and then these go here. And I like that this is upgradable, so you can put these pounder caps on and change them out later. That makes it really nice. Okay, so there's the pulverizer. Oh, and you know what the other thing we have is? We have the quern here that we can add in as well. let's see here. I know we picked up an extra one when we were dungeon looting. There it is. Great. Let's go ahead and take our granite quern and put that down. Now, once we get our copper production up and running a little bit higher here as well, we can also start thinking about more automation of things with chutes. That would be really nice to add here. So this is going slowly but surely. And, you know, the other thing that occurs to me is that we're going to need is a forge of some sort, like our actual forging area. So maybe that'll go over here. We'll put together the bloomeries and whatnot on this side. So I think that's what we're going to do. Maybe I'll move all of my forging items in there. Now, I'm still going to need 2 anvils here, but I'm going to go ahead and break this up and all of this stuff up, and we will start using that in our forge. So let's go ahead and pick this up here. Okay, so I've brought over all of our boxes of forging ingredients here, and I think we're just going to start setting these down here. Let's grab this and put this here. And I do need to go back because I did miss a couple of items, but this is the general idea. Now, with these all here, maybe the forge goes over on this side, which is closer to the helve hammer. That might actually make a lot more sense. So let's move these over here. Okay, and the thing that's missing here, I'm going to put my old anvil there that we were using. And let's go grab up our new anvil and the other remaining items and start loading that up. Okay, here is our new anvil. Let's put this down there. Great. That's going to be real annoying real fast. We probably need to make some sort of a toggle for that. Okay, this is starting to look pretty good. Now, I don't think I have enough birch to finish out all of my walls here, but I'm going to do as much as I can. So let's just start laying this out here. I think, you know, honestly, now that it occurs to me, I think a porch here would have been really nice. Maybe I'll go ahead and move these as well, but I'm just going to put up as much of the walls as I can with the wood that we've got remaining. And also, it looks like we've attracted a pair of stallions over there, so we are going to keep an eye on them and start feeding them as well, so we can tame them sooner rather than later. Let's make ourselves a door while we are at it. I think that'll be a nice addition to the shed here. And maybe the door comes out a little bit. Maybe instead of doing this, like so, maybe these go here, and these go here. Or something like this. We'll play with the design a little bit, but I think this could be good. And then maybe this. Yeah, that's starting to come together a little bit. We need some railings and some fencing and all that sort of stuff, but I think that could look cool. Now, I had been hoarding a bunch of leaded glass panes from our ruins as we've been exploring them. So I found a bunch in the south, so I do have a decent amount here from a church that I found that was ruined. So I think we might go ahead and add these in, because I think they'll look nice, and I think they do seal properly as well. So let's go ahead and do this, like so. Yeah, that's starting to look good. And we'll do a few more on this side here. Give ourselves a little gap, and then put in more. And I think we'll just repeat that around this space a little bit. Okay, that's starting to come along. I think we do one more layer of wood here, maybe 2, and then start thinking about the roof. Okay, so now we need to figure out a roof. I think for right now we're just going to do a temporary roof because we are running out of logs pretty quick. So let me go ahead and make a bunch of birch slabs here, and I'm just going to use this to frame it in. And I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to come over a little bit here, just like that. Because we don't actually need them on the corners right now, but I do need, to make sure that this works properly. So let's see if I can get this laid out real fast in the rain before the monsters come back out. Okay, we worked through the night, and there we have it, our finished little forge. Again, it's just a starter forge for now, but we have a roof on it, and I think if we close the door, yeah, it should be airtight now. Yep, see there, we have the little house icon, so we are indeed in an airtight building, even with this axle through the wall. This is great! So now we have our forge ready to go. Perfect. Now I've gone ahead and put in our aged torch holders that we had from our ruins expeditions. Got a fire pit started here, ready to go. Stacked a bunch of peat bricks. So I guess the only other thing I want to do here real quick is go ahead and put in our racks for our molds. I guess I'll hang these on the wall up here, maybe up here. With our other storage, let's do that. And let's go ahead and grab up all of our molds. And we're gonna go ahead and put these into the rack one at a time. There we go. And the last thing we need to do to make this look a little bit more like home is put up our tool racks. So let's go ahead and put our chisel in here, we'll put our hammer in here, and we'll put our tongs. And I think that's all of the tools we have. And let's go ahead and put a saw in here as well. Maybe we'll take the saw back. Well, that's looking pretty good. We are quickly having everything we need to make this forge. Now, the last thing I want to do here is lay down a path to get to the forge. And unfortunately, we put our berry bushes kind of right in the middle of everything, which is not ideal here. But I'm going to see if we have our stone paths. And maybe we start laying out a little path here for ourselves. So I'm just going to dig up a little area here coming out of our hovel. Maybe we clear this rubble out of the way as well, finally. It's garbage here. And start laying ourselves down a path. And I think the path should run over here to our shed. Oh, I don't know why that oryx keeps hanging out here. But we're gonna lay it out here. And it sounds like we've got some monsters in our shed, which does not make me feel good. Oh, no, you are in my horse pasture, and that's not where I want you. Oh, I hope the horses will be okay. But we're going to go ahead and start putting our path down around all of these animals that are kind of taking over at this point. Okay, there we go. We've got our lovely little path here. We probably need to finish redecorating here and laying out our flowers to make it look nice, but now our path goes all the way back here, past this oryx who's just hanging out, to our barn, and also to our little forge. So I think that's looking pretty nice. And with that done, I think this is a good place to end this episode. So thanks again for watching Enterprise Architecture, and we'll see you back here next time. Bye, friends!